So let's talk about coronavirus deaths. For weeks, almost for 2 months, the right and the anti-science crowd were telling us, don't worry, cases are up, but deaths aren't going to go up. And we would say, why not? And they would come up with explanations like, well, listen, it's young people now who are getting the virus. Young people don't get very sick. They don't go into the hospital. They don't die. So even though cases are spiking starting in mid-June, we're not going to see a spike in deaths. Some others would say it's a less serious strain now. The virus is mutated and it's far less serious now. Others said we're better at treating it. Deaths won't go up. We've got, hydroxy and remdesivir. And we're just not going to see that death spike because we're better at treating it. Well, for the 10th time in the last month, we again have set a 30 to 60 day new high water mark in terms of deaths. And yesterday, 1,485 people died of coronavirus. 1,485. That's half a 9/11 in a single day. This is the most deaths yesterday since May 27th, or about 64 days. We are quickly losing all the progress that was made during April and early May. We're back at the May 27th death number. If you look at the brown line on the graph that we have up on the screen, that's the 7-day moving average. So sometimes looking at individual days can be less than a complete picture because we tend to get less reporting on the weekends. So if you look at a 7-day average, you can see that the 7-day moving average of deaths has been climbing since right around the 4th of July holiday here in the United States. That should have been a signal that things weren't being done correctly. It has now been almost a month since then. As you probably know by now, deaths are a lagging indicator to cases. So even if we believe that cases started to flatten on July 16th, now many of us don't believe that because that's the day on which reporting from hospitals shifted from going to the CDC, instead going to Trump's Department of Health and Human Services. But if you believe that cases started to flatten on July 16th, then that means we are still weeks from the peak in terms of single day deaths. And that means that 10 or 14 days from now, the daily death toll could be once again tragic. It could get to a 9/11 every day, or just short of it. Now, as you know, as it's almost become apocryphal at this point, but I've been saying Massachusetts has handled the virus quite well. But if you're all in the same pool and someone's peeing in the deep end and you're in the shallow end, eventually you're going to get some of that pee in the shallow end, if you understand what I'm saying. Eventually it's going to reach you. We're all in the same pool. And even here in Massachusetts, it's a slow uptick, but there's an uptick. And it started in mid-July. We had, 175, 200 cases a day for weeks. We're now more regularly getting 300, 325 cases a day. And we're about to see, is it 50,000? Is it 100,000, 150,000 college students flying in over the next 4 weeks to start college? And add to that we're about to get hit with the flu season in the United States. I'm seeing CVS and Walgreens advertising flu shots. I'm going to get mine very soon. This could be ramping up to arguably the worst or most difficult fall in the United States from a public health standpoint. I will just say in a very long time. Does it go all the way back to 1918 and the flu? I'm not sure, but certainly in decades. People just aren't listening. Much of the world did handle this. This was not the only way that it could have gone, the trajectory in the United States. I hate that it has become political, but because Donald Trump did fail us, he has to suffer the consequences. He has to be removed in November. I don't even need a president that will do anything that special. We just need one that will do. I was just interviewed actually on a New Zealand a program, and we'll be posting that very soon to YouTube and Facebook. Jacinda Ardern in New Zealand, she didn't bring any unique medical knowledge. She just realized that she shouldn't pretend to know things she doesn't know. She's going to defer to the doctors and let the doctors lead the way with her support. That's all I need a president to do. But we are now back where we were months ago. We're sort of starting from scratch in a sense. There are discussions about needing a full lockdown reset to get things under control. I don't think there's any political appetite for that at this point in time. And think about all of the people who stayed home for months, sacrificed financially, sacrificed, psychologically and emotionally to flatten the curve. We're back to where we were back then. And we are still up against mass evictions, growing unemployment. Consider the disrespect, by the way, to the healthcare workers. Remember, they're heroes. We appreciate them, right? Well, then why isn't everybody wearing a mask? How is it respectful to healthcare workers to walk around with no mask and to have indoor dining and have casinos open and movie theaters? We haven't done the right thing for them as much as for the victims of the virus. It's disgusting. It's tragic. And the next 3 months, it could be really bad. It could be really, really bad. And I want to hear what's going on in your state. I am on Twitter at @DPakman. Let me know how you see it. Let me know what's taking place.